Hey everyone, what is up? I'm your host Chris, K-R-I-S, and I have decided to make a video about Tenchu Stealth Assassins and the rest of the franchise, and why we should get another game, and maybe the possibility of why another game could happen. So I'm coming up with a couple of ideas. I'm just thinking to myself, none of this is coming from like any source or theory or anything out there. This is just me observing how things have gone over the last while and trying to come up with a way that Tenchu could find another minor success on the consoles in 2016 or 2017 when it comes out or whatever. And the first one that comes to mind is that the Nintendo Switch could be a good home for Tenchu. It isn't the most powerful console. The PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One are still better than it, and that's not even counting the Pro and the Scorpio. So the budget that would be required to create a Tenchu game on those consoles isn't going to be as significant as the budget it would take to create it on the Nintendo Switch. Now, one of you guys told me on my last video that the Nintendo Switch is actually 1080p when on the TV and only 720p when you're walking around with the mobile, and that's still fine. You can still make a Tenchu game in 720p only. Not many people will complain, especially considering we don't really have much of a choice at this point. It's that or nothing, I think. And that's starting with Tenchu 2. I personally think the graphics of every freaking Tenchu game has been subpar. Tenchu 2, Tenchu 3, Fatal Shadows lately, and from what I've seen of Tenchu 4 on the Wii, they always seem to be a little less than polished. And I don't complain about that, because when it comes to Tenchu, you're guaranteed bad voice acting, you're guaranteed some clunky controls every now and then, you're guaranteed some less than polished graphics, and that's fine, that's fine. What makes Tenchu Tenchu is the fact that you're a ninja running around rooftops and slicing throats. That's what it's about, and that's what makes it so good. So I don't think the power is really necessary, so there's no point for From Software to be out there putting all this money into a game in 1080p or above for the future Plus consoles, and just leave it the way it is. The second thing I want to talk about is that Dark Souls isn't being developed. The flagship series these days of From Software isn't getting a sequel right now. Now, they said that they weren't doing Dark Souls, but they didn't say that they weren't going to do Bloodborne, because they kind of separate those even though they play very similarly. And we do know also that they're going to be doing another Armored Core. So it stands to reason that with all the men doing the smaller games right now, that Tenchu could be in line for a future release. So I think that leads to a little hope for the future. Like, if Armored Core is coming back, there's really no reason why Tenchu couldn't be coming back either. And getting back to the budget for a second, if it does well on the Nintendo Switch, there's no reason at all why it can't be transferred in a port over to the PlayStation, over to the Xbox as a digital download. And going off of that, look at Hitman. Hitman has done really well releasing in episodes over the last year. It's done extremely well. The fans that went into it, they were like, oh no, this is going to be terrible. They've ruined Hitman. It's going to be awful. The developers won't put effort in. They're not going to stand behind the series. If episode 1 doesn't sell well, they're going to drop it. But then, it's a year later or so, and everybody loves it. Like, the new Hitman is a great hit. A lot of the fans are like, it made up for the last one, the one that everyone complains about making the series too linear and too action-packed. They're like, this is Hitman at its core, and that is a great thing. And I don't see why Tenchu can't do that. Why can't we have it in episodes? Because the game, the franchise, that format has always been perfect for individual releases. Now, I'm like you. I would rather 10 levels in a disc or just download it as one. But if we're at a point where we really have to talk about whether or not Tenchu's ever coming back, I can settle for an episode every month or every 2 months. I can settle for that. And if it's going to lead to more polish like the Hitman game, then great, fucking fantastic. I'm excited for that, And that leads to another point. I think this is the best point when it comes to why Tenchu should continue and why Tenchu should come back. It should be resurrected. Is because it has value now. It has more value right now than it ever has. It has more market share to itself now than it ever has. Metal Gear Solid is done, at least in the canon sense. They might release Metal Gear Survive, and maybe they'll make Metal Gear 6 or whatever. But without Hideo Kojima, I personally don't see it as being a success as much as it it used to be. And even though, you know, yeah, some of the main games like 5 and 4 had issues, and some people hate Peace Walker, but I love Peace Walker. But for all purposes, Metal Gear is basically dead. Second, Assassin's Creed, the biggest and most casual crappy of the stealth games out there, is now going on a bi-yearly release, meaning interest in that series has waned. Interest in that series has become saturated and people don't give a crap about it anymore. And the developers know that, so they're holding off on the releases now, which is opening up a year for another stealth game to come out. And Splinter Cell is gone. The last Splinter Cell we got was years ago with Blacklist, so there's not even a single word on that. I think I heard a rumor a few months ago that the original voice actor's coming back, but we don't know any of that for sure. No one's talking about it. It's gone. So now, all that you have left is the Thief reboot, which came out like 2 years ago that no one cared about. Even the hardcore fans were like, this isn't Thief, this isn't any good. So we have only Tenchu that could come out on the market and be like, hey, here is your stealth action game. Here is the game that you want to play. You want to sneak up on people? We have that. You want to hide in the shadows? We have that. Splinter Cell doesn't have that anymore. Splinter Cell is gone. Metal Gear is gone. Assassin's Creed is gone. I never even had it to begin with. You know? We have all that. And there is literally nothing standing in Tenchu's way right now from dominating the stealth action market. There's nothing there that can stop it. If it comes out, the people like me who aren't fans but like stealth games, like the people who want stealth action and aren't getting any, they're gonna look at Tenchu to be like, okay, I've heard of this game when I was younger, but I never played it. I guess I'll give it a shot. You know, now it's on Steam maybe. You know, so bring it to the PC. So there's so much you could do with the franchise, why it should come back. There's like so much potential there. There's literally nothing stopping it. Hell, even when it comes to action, Devil May Cry isn't around, Ninja Gaiden isn't around. So they could have like some of that market share to be like, hey, yeah, this is a stealth action game, but look at the boss fights. Look at the things that happen when you get spotted in this game. It isn't an immediate game over. You're not shot to crap like in Hitman or Splinter Cell or anything. You fight with a sword. They have swords. It's cool. You can do backflips. You have like items that can blow up things and fire flaming arrows and a bunch of other cool stuff. You can turn invisible and wear costumes. Like there's so much potential there. Especially coming from the developers that made Dark Souls. Just think of this. Tenchu stealth action, Dark Souls, Bloodborne speed combat. Put that into one and you have a great game. People will like that. The Dark Souls fans will like that. They're like, wait, what? I never heard of this Tenchu. What are you saying it is? It's Dark Souls with stealth elements? Oh, that's interesting now, yeah. And they're not making Dark Souls right now, right? I guess I'll just try it out. Because From Software today is bigger than they have ever been. They are one of the best selling game companies right now, or at least one of the best or most talked about when it comes to their games. Dark Souls comes out, everybody talks about it. Bloodborne comes out, hell, it's been years and people are still saying it's the best game on the PlayStation 4. So if you incorporated some elements of those games in the Tenchu, it would be revived beyond belief. It could be a great franchise again. So there's just a couple of reasons why I think it could come back, why it should come back, and ways it could come back. Basically what I'm saying is, give me anything. That's really what it comes down to. So, and then I know a lot of you guys, you found my channel from Tenchu, you like Tenchu, some of you love the Tenchu videos and never even played the damn game yourself. So, I want you to make a promise. If even the smallest bit of news of Tenchu comes out, you tell me, and you buy that bloody game when it's released. I don't care if you have this much interest, you support it. If you like my Tenchu videos, support the actual game. That's all I gotta say. And From Software, if anybody from Software is browsing the internet and sees this, why isn't any of the Tenchu games on the PlayStation Store? What's that about? Like, is it a rights issue? Because I have no idea. Why isn't Tenchu available for digital download? Why do I have to buy it on eBay or play it on an emulator? Something's weird about that. So thank you for watching. I'm your host Chris. And if you want, you can subscribe to my Patreon. I am doing pretty well over there. It's really great. It's helping support the channel. And I think I'll probably do like a 12-hour stream as a thank you once I get to like 10 patrons. That'd be pretty cool. I didn't even plan on that. That just like came out of my mouth. That'd be kind of pretty cool. Yeah, a 12-hour stream. So if I get to 10 patrons, I'll do a 12-hour stream on Twitch, AloversGaming. So thanks, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Help this channel out a lot, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.